Hey everyone, Heather G here. So this video is just going to serve the purpose of giving you my personal opinion and my personal review of my trip to Europe through EF Ultimate Break. I went to 5 countries over the span of 17 days. It was Amsterdam, London, Paris, Barcelona, and Rome. And by the end of this video, you're going to get a feel of how I liked or didn't like my trip. It's spoiler alert, I absolutely loved it. But here goes nothing. So first and foremost, what is EF Ultimate Break? EF Ultimate Break is a program that is designed for anyone between the ages of 18 to 29. And pretty much it plans out everything for you. Breakfast? Yes. My flights? Yes. Transportation in between cities and countries? Yes. What about layovers? Yes. It literally covers everything. I didn't really believe it until it was time for me to leave, just how much EF covers for you. Yes, you're paying for it. Yes, you're making your monthly payments. Yes, you're signing up with your security deposit. Yes, you're responsible for making sure your passport is good. You're making sure you're packing well, making sure you're saving for your excursions and for the actual trip. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty, most important things, EF has you. So I'm really going to talk about the 3 most important things or most important topics when it comes to my experience. And in the midst of that, I'm going to have pictures and definitely going to recommend for you to follow me on social media or to even post your comments below of your experience or if you have any questions. So I went as a solo traveler. A solo traveler is someone that's technically going by themselves. And the reason why I'd say technically is because you will be connecting with other solo travelers. I believe it was about half of us. It was a group of 19. So half of us were solo travelers. And we were able to not just connect with each other on the common ground of being a solo traveler, but we were able to connect with the other groups, the groups that actually came with their friends. And so I definitely did have slight anxiety about the fact that, I'm a solo traveler, there's going to be cliques, there's going to be people that's not going to like me, who am I rooming with, blah, blah, blah. But I promise you by the end of this video, you're going to feel a lot better if you do plan on going as a solo traveler when it comes to actually traveling solo. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is planning. I'm a planner, so when the time came that I made my last deposit, and even before then, even when I was making my payments towards the trip, I definitely was already prepared. The wheels were turning. I was ready for this. I was going to do this within this chunk of time, and I was going to do this within that chunk of time. I know when I visit this city, I have to see this, and this. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop it right now. Give yourself time and space where you have nothing planned. I guarantee you, some of my most memorable moments was when I did not have anything planned for myself. I signed up. I was that solo traveler that signed up for all of the excursions. I signed up for this and that, this and that. And before I knew it, when I was actually in the city, I did not have any time. And this wasn't every city. This was just a few. I did not have any time to just explore, to just take it in. Take it in that I'm in freaking Amsterdam. Never would have thought it. Never. Taking it in that I'm in London, a city in England, a country that I've dreamed about being in. So definitely give yourself the space and time to not plan a thing. If you're passionate about an excursion, I was passionate about the beach day in Spain. Nobody was taking that from me. I was also passionate about University of Oxford because I'm a culture vulture, so I do love historical things, and I definitely was excited about one of the optional excursions that our tour director gave us once we actually were in Europe. And so again, don't be in such a rush to plan your whole trip out. Allow yourself some time to plan, to do nothing. I know, you guys like that. You guys like that. So definitely that's the most important thing when it comes to planning. The next important thing when it comes to planning is don't wait until the last minute to get all the important things out the way. EF recommends, and a lot of other places recommend, for your passport to be valid at least 6 months after your trip has ended. So definitely take that extra step of seeing if you can renew your passport before the expiration date if it's not within that 6 month period. Make copies of it. I made copies of mine. I had 2 copies for myself, one in my luggage, one in one of my clutches, and I gave one to my mom. So definitely recommend planning those things out. Start just getting an idea of what you want to wear. It was a week before my trip where I pretty much was like 60% packed. There were some things that I just had no control over. I had to wait. So definitely plan accordingly. That's that. That also brings me to my second topic, packing. All the clothes, all the shoes, all the toiletries. Don't do it to yourself. No matter what gender you are, don't do it to yourself. I had to repack 3 times. The first time, I packed a pair of heels and a pair of wedges and like 2 pair of sandals and a random pair of sneakers that I know for a fact was not going to be good for me and my feet and for all the walking. P.S. You're doing a lot of walking. It just wasn't worth it. So I repacked again. Then the second time, I packed way too many clothes. So I repacked. The third time me repacking, I felt 90% confident that I did a great job. No. It dropped to like 60% when we actually got in the different countries because of the fact that I wasn't really prepared for rain. London, it did rain. I wasn't really prepared for the chilly weather at nighttime in Amsterdam. Only thing I was prepared for was a few fashionable things for Paris, and then the heat in Barcelona and Rome. So definitely recommend preparing for rain, chilly weather, and hot weather. If you are going on a long trip, pretty confident that your hostel is going to have laundry service. Definitely recommend taking advantage of that. And do not think anything is wrong with wearing something 2 to 3 times, as long as it is clean and it's not dirty and it goes with your style. I definitely rewore a few things because of the fact that I was like, am I really trying to look cute or am I trying to be comfortable? And so luckily I was able to look cute and comfortable. And so when it comes to toiletries, for my guys and even for my girls or even my non-binary, trans, it doesn't matter. Pack what you're realistically going to use and what you're realistically going to wear. Again, I went from a pair of wedges and a pair of heels to 1 pair of heels, and I didn't even really need those because realistically, I didn't want to do all that walking in them. So I wore them once, one night, the night before my birthday, and didn't wear them again, so ended up taking space. When it comes to your toiletries, travel size. I know everyone knows this, but travel size gets you far. And when it comes to makeup, hair products, you're going to be in the heat, so spending time curling your hair and flat ironing it and doing all these other things, you're just taking up extra time in the morning that you could really be sleeping and extra time at night that you could be chilling or hanging out with some of your other roommates. So don't bring them if you aren't realistically going to wear them. So when it comes to packing, pack light, pack what you're realistically going to wear and what you're realistically going to use, and remember to take medicine that you'll need. AKA, the 3 things I needed was anti-nausea liquid or medication, definitely needed headache medication, and needed melatonin. And the only reason why I needed melatonin was for the nights where I just really couldn't sleep because we were either on a ship or it was too noisy in other rooms. It just definitely can't stress enough. And so when it comes to my third topic, it's really the one I'm most passionate about, which is my overall experience. My first memory of my trip was getting to the airport. And yes, duh, getting to the airport. But the reason it was my first memory was because that's where I met fellow travelers that was in the group. And I knew that they were in Maryland, but I did not think they'd be flying out with me until the day before when we're all trying to check in. And my friend Lauren is like, "Hey, Heather, we can't check in without you." And I'm like, "Whoa, we're traveling as a group. Oh, this is amazing." And then my anxiety kicked in. What if they don't like me? What if they're too cliquey and they don't want me around? Yeah, all of that, get it out of your head. As a solo traveler, it definitely felt weird considering myself a solo traveler because I was able to immediately connect with people. So I am going to tell you and I am going to reassure you with all my heart, body, mind, and soul, you are going to connect with others. I'm not even going to do the disservice of saying you're going to connect with one person. You're going to connect with at least 3. And if you aren't going to connect with at least 3 people, then I'm sorry. But I can tell you again with 100% confidence, you are going to connect with people that have the same interests in you, that are fellow culture vultures or party animals. You are. And when you do, be grateful for that. Be grateful and open and be willing to step out a little bit. So that definitely is for my introverted friends out there that don't really know how to connect with strangers. My best advice is to let it flow naturally. Let it flow naturally. When it comes to that, anyone and everyone that's been on EF can agree with me that you will make lifelong friends. Little do half of the people on the trip, and pictures are scrolling through right now, these people that I'm showing you, they're stuck with me for life. Little do they know, and I'm pretty sure they already know because they've seen every ounce of Heather G the 17 days that we spent together. So I can't stress enough that when you're on this trip to be open and mindful, but also to be open to connecting to others. That is really what makes your trip even more awesome. For the people that are traveling with their group of friends, I can't stress enough for you to also be open and mindful to others, to the other people in your group. We definitely did have a group of friends that were more to their selves, and this was because they've used EF before, so they don't need to do certain things, or they already have their own interests, so they just let our tour director know that, hey, we really aren't interested in doing this, so we just want to go ahead and do our own thing. And our tour director, he was amazing. He definitely made sure we were all comfortable, we were all safe, we were all okay, and he actually hung out with us almost all the time. So definitely for the group of friends, also just be mindful of the other people in your group. When it comes to my experience safety-wise, we were in relatively safe areas. Everywhere we were, there wasn't a part of me that didn't feel safe. It definitely helps when you do have those moments of slight anxiety. It definitely helps where you do have those moments where your nerves are kicking in. You're wondering if this person's looking at you or if these people are looking at you. I'm telling you, when you move in numbers, you're literally your own little army. My number one piece of advice is just like what mom would tell you, or dad would tell you, or your tour director is going to tell you. Stick with your group. Stick with your group. Make sure you stay connected through the WhatsApp. Spoiler alert, you'll be having your own private WhatsApp. Stick with your group. Stay connected. And if you do not have pretty much international data available for your cell service, you are more than likely going to always find someone that does, and so you'll be able to stick with them. There was one time, I believe we were in Paris. Yeah, we were in Paris, and for the first day, I don't know what it was, but I didn't have cell service. And I was able to get it fixed, but that day, I naturally just stuck around with everyone else. And yeah, I still was able to do my own thing and connect back, but at the same time, it did make me feel better that I had people that were aware that I didn't have cell service, so aware of what I was doing, where I was at, things like that. And so pretty much to sum this up, this video up for you guys, and thank you for hanging in there with me. Would I recommend EF to you? Abso-freaking-lutely. Will I recommend it to a new traveler whose passport has never been stamped before? Abso-freaking-lutely. Would I recommend it to someone that's nervous about being around other people? Abso-freaking-lutely. Would I recommend it to an experienced traveler and who just wants to travel again because you just want to pay for it and have everyone else and have EF do it for you, or a company do it for you, do all the nitty-gritty for you? Abso-freaking-lutely. This trip has literally changed my life, and I can't stress that enough. And so I'm going to end this video with just one final thought, one final thought, and that is literally, I'm happy that I did not cancel this trip. Up until I arrived at the airport on August 4th, 2018, I was thinking of canceling my trip. I was thinking of eating the thousands of dollars that I put towards it and just canceling it because what the hell am I thinking? And so even when you have those thoughts, even when you have those deepest, darkest what ifs, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, just go for it. Go for it and do it. So again, comment, share, definitely ask any questions that you have. And thank you guys again for allowing me to rant about how awesome EF is, how awesome my trip was, and how memorable and once in a lifetime feeling it gave me. And look forward to hearing from you guys. Follow me on social media. My social media will be posted below. And bye!